Hey, this is GMS students. Welcome to homework R.12, multiplying fractions review. It's due tomorrow. You can check with the calculator, but you must show all answers. So instructions say find each project, look to cross cancel when possible, make sure to show all work, and simplify your answers. So for number one, I looked diagonally, 7 and 4, they got nothing in common, but 12 and 3, I can divide them both by 3. So the 3 becomes a 1, the 12 becomes a 4, right? And then I multiply straight across. Doing that, I get 16 over 7, because 4 times 4 is 16, 7 times 1 is 7. And now I have to change this to an improper fraction. I'm going to show, to a mixed number. I'm going to show my work. 7 goes into 16 twice, with 2 left over. So 2 and 2 sevenths, and I'm going to circle my answer. Right. Number 3, ask yourself diagonally, 7 and 1, they got nothing in common, but 10 and 14, they got 2 in common. So 10 divided by 2 is 5, 14 divided by 2 is 7, and I multiply straight across, and I get 5 times 1 is 5, 7 times 7 is 49. That is a fully simplified fraction, so A is my answer. Number 5, 11 and 11, they both have 11 in common, so they both become 1. 16 and 14, they both have 2 in common, so 14 becomes a 7, 14 divided by 2 is 7, 16 divided by 2 is 8. And now I multiply straight across. 8 times 1 is 8. 1 times 7 is 7. 7 goes into 8 one time with 1 left over. So 1 and 1/7 is your answer, B. All right, number 7. 4 and 14, I can cross cancel by dividing them both by 2. So 4 divided by 2 is 2. 14 divided by 2 is 7. 5 and 11, they got nothing in common. So I multiply straight across. I'll get 10 over 77. That is fully simplified. B is my answer. All right. Next section, it says, first change each mixed number to an improper fractions, then find each product. Make sure to show all work, simplify your answers. So as we did in class today, we do the whole number times the denominator. That's 6. Add it to the numerator. So my new fraction is 8 over 3 times, and we do the same thing here. 2 times 6, it's 12. 5 plus 12, 17 over 6, right? Now I should ask myself, is there anything I can cross cancel? I look at the 8, the 6, I can divide them both by 2. So 8 divided by 2 is 4, 6 divided by 2 is 3. And now I look to multiply straight across, right? So 4 times 17 is going to be 51. Nope, excuse me, it's going to be 68. And 3 times 3 is going to be 9. So how many times does 9 go into 68? 9 goes into 68 7 times. That's 63 with 5 left over. So your answer is 7 and 5/9. C. All right. Number 11, we're doing 1 times 3, which is 3. So that gives you 5 over 3 times, and then 1 times 5, which is 5. 9 over 5, right? 5 and 5 both have 5 in common, so 5 divided by 5 is 1. 5 divided by 5 is 1. And then 9 and 3 both have 3 in common, so 3 divided by 3 is 1, and 9 divided by 3 is 3. Now we just multiply straight across, and I get 1 times 3 is 3, 1 times 1 is 1, 3 over 1 is the same thing as 3. And number 13. 1 times 5 is 5, so add the 5 there, you get 7 over 5 times, and then 3 times 6 is 18. Add 5 to that, you get 23 over 6. And unfortunately here, there is nothing that these fractions have in common. So this is why I said it's okay to use a calculator so long as you are checking and showing your work. So that gives us 161 over 30. And now ask yourself, how many times does 30 go into 161? And it goes in there 5 times, so it's a 6. That's 150 with 11 left over, so that's how you get 5 and 11/30 as your answer. All right, sorry about that, 30ths, so D. Please make sure you're circling your answers. If I were you, I'd pause and try and do the even problems before we do this. For word problems, it says, by 2005, 42 men had been president of the United States. Of these men, 2 21st had no children. How many presidents had no children? So they're basically trying to say, what is 221 of 42? And we know of means multiply, so they're saying what's 2 over 21 times. If we want to put a whole number, we just put it over 1. Right? So we could actually multiply this out by saying 21 and 42, they both have 21 in common, believe it or not. So 21 divided by 21 is 1, 42 divided by 21 is 2. And we'll go ahead and multiply straight across. So 4, 2 times 2 is 4, 1 times 1 is 1. So how many presidents had no children? 4 presidents. All right. Lastly, 17, Sammy is laying brick in his front walkway. The rectangular path measures 3/5 of a foot by 4/9 of a foot. So something like this, 3/5 by 4/9. What is the area of the space? So area is just length times width, right? Area is equal to length times width. So we're just going to say what's 4/9 times 3/5, right? I can cross cancel the 9 and the 3. 3 becomes 1, 9 becomes 3 because I divide them both by 3. And I multiply across, and the area is 4/15 feet. And then squared, because we're trying to figure out how many 1 by 1 squares can fit in that rectangle. Right? So that's it. Call me if you have questions. Please show all work, and you can double check your answers with a calculator.